As I have already alluded to earlier, I and council have made downtown development a priority. Grant money is still available, but it's more competitive, it's harder to get. We have met with the Appalachian Council of Governments, who is in the process of putting together a grant program for us to apply for the downtown grants. I think part of the question was, how long do we anticipate it taking? It's not going to be a quick process, it's going to take time. But as long as we're making progress, and we are making progress in the downtown development, we will get there. We will redevelop downtown Liberty. As Councilman Harrison alluded to, I am not in support of pledging hospitality tax to the service of fixed debt. Hospitality tax is a variable income. The economy goes down a little bit more, and hospitality tax will go down in proportion to that. But service of fixed debt will not go down. We're working with the Main Street program, which is part of the Municipal Association of South Carolina, to help develop downtown.
I think we should make sure that credit is given where credit is due. It was just 2 months ago that I was at a Liberty City Council meeting, and a representative from the downtown businesses came down there and said, "We are desperate." I mean, and he bagged on the podium and said, "We are desperate. We don't know what to do." And that person helped form this committee and then asked the city to join in. He begged the city to join in because nothing was being done. I also would like to address the variable income about the hospitality tax. It shouldn't be variable, it should be increasing. If you're bringing businesses in, you're going to have more hospitality tax. And I certainly agree that you shouldn't have, that you should be within budget. I certainly agree with that. But you should always have an increasing amount of hospitality tax coming in, even in difficult times. We're facing businesses just deserting Liberty when they could be coming in if we just changed the city business license fee structure, I think. It's punitive. It's the most punitive in the upstate. It's $10 per thousand. The city of Greenville is $10 per 10,000, and they don't enforce it by going to you and saying, "Let us see your taxes," like they did this year in the city of Liberty. I talked to dozens of businesses that were upset because they were being told that they had to show their tax returns in order to get a business license, me included.
Our next question is from Tasha Rollins. What are your thoughts about bringing entertainment venues and commerce to the city of Liberty residents so that residents can have good, wholesome family entertainment available locally that could increase the city's revenues and allow residents to stay in the city and not drive to Clemson, Greenville, or Anderson to spend their hard-earned money? We'll begin with Mr. Harrison.
One thing definitely that we need to watch out for as well with that is when you bring people into downtown, you want to bring them into downtown. You pull them away from the downtown area that may not go to visit our restaurants, that may not go to visit our shops. You also run the risk when you are doing that. You also have people who are owning the shops themselves, owning the businesses themselves, who don't want to open during the event. And if you're not open, the city's not making revenues. And you know, we've got to make sure that the events that we pull in are not ones that are going to work against us. It's got to be things that will bring people into the actual downtown area, keep things safe, and also encourage people. Maybe some type of incentive as they come in the door to the event. If you go to Tony's on the way out, you're going to get free bread with your pizza or whatever. You know, some kind of incentive as they do leave the place. They have their tickets, you know, they have a reason to go and visit our restaurants. So we've got to, not only do we have to make sure that we bring them into downtown, we've got to make sure our businesses are open, and we've got to make sure that we give them an incentive to visit our business.
I've had a background in helping put together big events. I've helped manage and put together concerts. I've worked in especially now that we have the stadium. Concert venues that are family friendly. Potentially moving Liberty Idol into the stadium where it could be contained. And the issue that I've heard time and time again of teenagers walking the streets and unsupervised or whatever, that becomes a moot point. Because then we have it enclosed. We have parking there, we can control access, we can tell exactly how many people really are there. Nobody inflates it because of head count. The venues that we have right now lend themselves to a lot of opportunities. Like I said, if we can get the middle school property and turn that auditorium into something useful, we can have concerts there. We can bring in like Easley. Easley High School for years has housed Swan Lake or the Nutcracker every Christmas. Why can't we do that here and bring things to our community that people come in to see? Create a corridor from the stadium all the way down to Commerce Street and all up and down Front Street of things that people want to come do. We have to make sure they're safe. We have to make sure they're family friendly. But we have to get doing it. We can't just sit here and talk about it and not do. And that's the thing I love. I love organizing events. I love helping put events together. I love the planning aspect of that. And the potential that I see here is just incredible.
There's no question that the city, especially with the recent acquisition or coming final acquisition of the stadium, presents us with opportunities we've not seen before, we've not even thought about. It wasn't even a function of our minds. We now have that. As well, I have past experience in my corporate world of putting together large events and functions. It's something that we're addressing currently. Council has had dialogue in respect to this. We have very unique micro entertainment venues with our gazebos of Starland Park. It doesn't have to be massive. What would be great is that it's regularly occurring. That's what we have to first attach. What can we do that's going to bring in our local people, our local bands, be it Christian or otherwise, and certainly family-oriented. And then we can start to market our newly found resource, the stadium, and how it can not only derive financial benefits to the city and the individuals and citizens and businesses all throughout our town.
I believe the question was, are you in favor, of course, in favor of more than time? And I think with the new facility that we have, even if it is decided to have the Liberty Idol there, what would be wrong with charging $1 for admission? $1, nobody would gripe about paying $1. And that would be a lot toward paying for that event. If you did anything in Liberty, if you bought gas, you got a free ticket. If you bought a meal at a restaurant, you got a free ticket. That the owners of businesses would feel that they're part of that. You could go before, eat, buy gas, any store. If you did anything, you got a ticket to get in there and to the island. And there's a lot of things that I know all this has been kicked around and talked about already. And it just, the new stadium opens up so much. It's going to be really good for Liberty.